I promised my wife that in 45 days I would have this entire basement refinished, and I've got 42 days left. Last time you saw me, I finished wiring everything and put up the electrical boxes. It was a bit tough figuring out exactly how to do that, but we got it done. I'm filming this entire project because I need the encouragement and the accountability from you guys to actually get it done. It wasn't going super fast, so this is helping a lot. So I realized that I messed up something, so let's go fix that real quick before we do anything else. I don't know if you guys noticed this, I changed my profile picture on my YouTube channel. So last time I set up these electrical boxes, but it turns out that I didn't actually put them in the right place. To get it centered, I measured from this to this. And that's not what I was supposed to do, because there's a piece of drywall that's gonna be here, that's ½ inch, and there's a piece of drywall that's here, ½ inch, meaning the center of this needs to be moved over to ½ inch. Is it worth it to move that? No, it's not, but I'm going to anyways. On gloves while doing this. It's just one piece though. That's how you get in trouble. You just say it's just one piece, and then your arms are itchy for 3 days. There really is no easy way to hang drywall on a ceiling by yourself. Now I know what you're thinking, Jordan, you need to put this piece of drywall up, but you've got the light fixture in the way. How on earth do you translate where that hole goes in the piece of drywall? First off, I need to measure from the butt end of the drywall over here and go from here and here. 27 5/8, 31 1/2. So then I go 27 5/8 and then 31 1/2. So then I measure the y-axis from the wall to here, and that's 14 and 18. You have to really make sure that you're measuring from the right, the right side. Which side was I measuring over there? Well, if this is gonna be picked up and flipped this way, this side. 14 and 18. Make a box. And then you don't have to use a compass, but I use a compass. Just kinda make a circle. And test this out. So I didn't realize my mic was off, but you can see here on this piece I measured the hole wrong, and so I measured on the wrong side, so now I've got to redo that entire cut of drywall, which is actually a pretty complicated cut of drywall. It's not straight on both sides, the wall's not even, so I had to do this complicated thing. So anyways, right now I'm using the piece as a template on the new sheet of drywall. I'm just trying to line it up as best I can, and then I'm cutting it. Okay, so measuring from that side is 27, 31 1/4, 14, and 18. Do you see why this is confusing? It's like playing Tetris at the same time as doing a Rubik's Cube. You're like orienting it in your mind. I'm going to actually double check this time. Let's double check. 27 and 18, all right. Oh, I'm so paranoid. Not a very productive day, but had a lot of stuff this morning going on, so I came down here in the evening, try and get as much done as I could, so hopefully tomorrow, which is day 41, I have 41 days left, is a little bit more productive. It's currently 5:24 a.m. And I thought I'd come down here early so I could get more done instead of waiting till I have time at the end of the evening. I'm gonna do this drywall here on the ceiling. Let's see, Owen wakes up at 7. Stuff takes me so long. I'm I think I can get that amount. Hopefully I can get that done. To work overtime, let's do it. I had to change into long sleeves because I'm about to work with insulation. Next thing I'm gonna do is insulate the ceiling. And that is my least favorite job. Okay, so I try and cut this insulation pretty precisely so it sits up in the ceiling. Well, it's going up there, and this is sound batting. It's so that you can't hear anything upstairs. And this stuff works super well. I got some pieces left over that are cut already. One of the reasons this project took so long is I had to redo a lot of the water lines in my house. I didn't have to, but they were looking kind of rough. Might as well do it, so I just did it. I'm like precise with this, but you really don't need to do this. I go overboard. A lot of people just cut it and just shove it up there. You're never gonna see it, so it doesn't technically matter, obviously, for looks, but the functionality of it, it makes it so that it doesn't work that well if you do that. This stuff, ideally, is like not tampered with. It's just sitting up there like this. You don't want it like shoved up and stuff. You want it to be just fluffy and nice because that is where the sound batting properties happen. So, I mean, I even go so far as to cut some off of the sides here. I'll show you what I do. This is so that I don't have to compress between the wood framing and the floor. So I just remove what I don't need instead of having extra just crammed in there. See what I mean? See, and then we've got a nice fit right where this frame goes. See, this just slides up in there and it slides through that. And so it sits nice and uncompressed where that framing is, instead of being all disturbed and smashed up there because I didn't remove an inch of that. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. As per usual, Owen's about to wake up, so I need to go upstairs. I try to take care of him in the morning since Sarah's been up all night. I'm gonna come back down, really wanna get this drywalled, and if I can do that, I feel like I've made a lot of progress. Man, I'm so close. All right, I was not in a good morning. I was not in a good mood this morning, but now I'm feeling better. If you've been around on this channel for a long time, you know that I used to post every single Friday without fail. And I've let that slip over the past probably 5 years. After I got married, I've been married for 7 years now. After I got married, I wasn't as consistent anymore. I just kind of did videos whenever I wanted to, and they did well. But now I feel like I'm starting to see the hit. I still really love this channel and doing this, so I'm gonna try and revitalize it. I think for a long time, it just kind of came across that I didn't really want to make videos as much anymore. I wasn't as passionate about it, which I'm going to be completely honest with you, was absolutely true. I just was kind of doing it because it was like, well, I've had this channel for however many years, and you know, I got some sponsors. I want to make videos still so I can keep going with that, but like at the end of the day, it was like, man, I really just didn't want to turn on the camera. Don't breathe that. But now, I don't know, I'm finding this like revitalization in the channel and wanting to post and finding a passion for it again. So that's kind of where we're at. This is actually going really, really fast. Weirdly, filming this makes it both go faster and slower. Faster because I have to keep up with moving the camera and thinking about doing this and not getting distracted by my phone. And slower because I have to move the camera around to film it. So I think it's a net positive though in the speed. I can remain focused. On Saturday, there's a bike ride at the Wilson County Fair, which is the Tennessee State Fair. It's like a huge fair in the area. And there was a bike ride. I hadn't done a Grand Fondo in like a long time. A Grand Fondo is like a big supported bike ride. It was the first bike ride I ever did when I was riding a lot with my dad before I went to college. So I've got like really fond memories of this bike ride. I did it again. But what was really fun was it was like on all these old roads that I used to ride on when I was racing bikes in college. It was on a lot of those roads that I used to just train on leaving from my mom and dad's house and just going and riding like, 50 miles. I would go on all these roads. And so I saw that this route was going to go on all my old roads, and I was like, dang, I really should do that. I want to see what it looks like compared to what it did, you know, back in 2011. Was it that long ago? It really was. Man, time flies. Now I've even got a baby. But all those roads, man, it's like it just brings back a lot of memories. I was going through a rough time back then, to be honest with you. And so those roads, they just bring back, when you're going through something that's really hard, you think this is always going to be like the worst time in my life. Like when I think back at this is going to be like, I'm always going to remember this as being just like a horrible time in life. But it's so weird looking back now, just being on all those old roads and thinking, dang, that was like, I don't know, one of the best times in a way. And it's weird how like bad times can like convert in your mind to good times. I'm about to take a mouthful of this stuff. I can tell you that right now. I actually don't like using this stuff because I don't know what's in it. I'm sure there's something not great in it. But the thing is, it's like it's covered up, it's sealed once it's all in. So I really try and put the drywall up as soon as I have this completely up so that I'm not breathing it. All right, I guess that's it. There we go, sweet. I actually think that I'm gonna throw in some sound batting up there. But I've been doing a lot of cycling training recently. Like I do that in the morning, have a light, wake up at about 5, try and put the dishes away, and then go out, start riding at 5:30. It gets bright at 6, so then I'm riding in the light for an hour and a half, or for an hour. I go through times where I'm not riding at all, and then times where I'm just like, man, obsessed with it. So I'm kind of trying to find a balance of not being crazy obsessed with it while, you know, also doing a passion of mine that feels so much a part of me. And I think a lot of it is because, I don't know if I've said this before, but cycling was kind of the first thing that I had that gave me a lot of independence, and I was kind of like a force in the world, you know, because you're like on high traffic roads, you're kind of contending with drivers, you're being a force in the world, and you're having to kind of be a part of it and shape it and have it see you. And I that's probably sounds way too philosophical, but like it's absolutely true. I started doing that in a very formative years. I was 17 when I started, and just being able to get on a bike and just ride. I mean, like, I got my license, I think at 17, and the first thing that I did when I got my license was I came home and I got on my bike and I rode. I loved riding back then. And now if I'm going through a hard time or if I'm stressed out about stuff, there's just something about getting on the bike and just riding that just, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna like this type of video where I'm just talking and while I'm doing this. I don't know if anybody is gonna like this. Honestly, I don't really know where this series of me doing this is gonna go, but like sometimes I'm just cutting insulation and it's not very exciting. I can't even possibly edit that to be exciting, and it takes so many hours to do stuff that like how do I edit this to be entertaining? But me and Sarah and Owen are going to the Wilson County Fair today. When I did the bike ride, they give you a free ticket to the fair. So I have a free ticket. I spent $40 to do this ride. But you get a $20 fair ticket. I think it's $20. So, you know, it's not too bad. So I think we're leaving here about 3:30, something like that. It's my favorite time of year. I love the Wilson County Fair. I've gone there, I think every single year for like my entire life. I think that is the last bit of insulation that I have to do downstairs. This is my last sheet of drywall. I'm not gonna tell you how long it took me to cut out this one piece. It is embarrassing, but all sorts of stupidity occurred. Getting close for me to leave. I should have been done with this a while ago, but I really wanted to get this done before I left. There we go. All right, did it. At the Wilson County Fair, after a successful day putting drywall up. Look how precious.